Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I just landed here in Denver. I came out for an event. I was going to speak, and I believe the event organizers wanted to postpone the event. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I'll find something else to do. I got friends in Denver and people that I want to meet up with, so I'm gonna go do some of that, do some of that black stuff. But anyway, I wanted to address something that was sent to me. Somebody sent this to me on social media. It was this picture of the singer Ciara, and as you know, Ciara is married to a guy named Russell Wilson, who is a very good player. He plays for the Seattle Seahawks. And hey, Nakia, how are you? And so Ciara and Russell Wilson, apparently they were excited about signing with creative arts agency or something. It's CAA for short. And so in their excitement, they take this picture, right? So let me tell you what happened, Susan. Hey, Susan from Philly. So they took this picture, right? And they're like, oh, my team is lit, our team is lit, and all this other stuff, right? Just a fun little social media picture. And people pointed out the obvious. A lot of people pointed out, like, hey, wait a minute, like, look at all those people in that picture. There's hardly any black faces in this picture. It almost reminds you of when Obama was in the White House and they would have staff pictures and there'd be no black people in the pictures. And I think that there are people, successful black people, that are accustomed to people not noticing that there are no other black people in the picture. They're accustomed to sort of being the only one. They're accustomed to their own people being excluded. And so people started giving them some shit about it for good reason. And I think they should. I think that Ciara and Russell should be challenged on this. Now, should they be bashed, like as if they're sellouts and they're terrible people? I'm not into that. I don't know if bashing them is necessarily going to solve the problem. But I think that there is a deeper issue here. The deeper issue is that when you talk about the black celebrity, and I'm talking about black, Negroes out in Hollywood begging for opportunities or whatever from white folks, the funny thing about them is that they don't really love you the way your community loves you. These people don't want shit to do with you until you become famous. When you sitting up in the hood, when you up in the trap, and you just a little, when Russell Wilson was a little black boy playing football, that wasn't signed to anybody, half those white people in that room wouldn't have even had a conversation with him. Creative Arts Agency is an agency that you only get to sign with if you are a super mega star. They only want you when they want you, and they don't want you when they don't want you. And so, to me, Russell Wilson, and Ciara, I see them sort of as these, a reflection of kind of what you typically see when you're talking about, black celebrities that mean nothing to anybody until they become famous, and then suddenly white people want to be all around them. Same thing with these athletes that go to the NFL and marry a white woman. And my question to the brother is, would that white woman have wanted you before you played for the Dallas Cowboys? Did she want shit to do with you, back when, when you were just some regular dude out here, without a nickel in your pocket? Because I would tell you what, the black woman always wanted something to do with you. The black woman always had time for you, right? And so I think that, when I saw the picture, what I really saw is standard racial opportunism. Racial opportunism where they say, okay, here's a Negro we can work with. Here's a Negro we can use. It links back to the idea of black people being seen primarily as a commodity that, pretty much only has value when it's being used for the purposes of white profitability. It makes me think about every rapper out here that, comes up in the hood, he's surrounded by black people, and then suddenly all his representatives are white. Well, why are you getting rid of black folks when it's time to get the good shit? Like, why, when the real money's coming in, you ain't got room for black people. But when you was broke as fuck, you needed the hood, you needed the community, you needed black people. You were all up in the hood, all up in their face, all up in their grill. You're talking about these are my people, and I want these people around me. But then you become famous, and suddenly it's like, you and Polly and Misty and Bob and all these motherfuckers that wouldn't want shit to do with your black ass if you was still back in the hood. They were scared to go visit your grandmama's house because your grandmama's still living in the hood. And so I think that with Ciara and Russell Wilson, it's not just them. I mean, a lot of people do this. I think that what they could do if they gave a shit, if they care about this issue at all, what I would like for them to do is talk to CAA about this. You got their motherfucking ear. They ain't listening to black people. They don't listen to niggas ever. They only listen to niggas that can sing and dance and play sports. Those are only black people they listen to. They don't listen to the rest of the other 40 million of us. They listen to you. Okay, so while they listening to you, you got to make a decision. Is this just about me and Russell, or is this about everybody? So maybe you use your power, your clout, to say to them, look, if my team is not at least 40% black, 50% black, 60% black, then I'm not here for you anymore. You're not going to make money off me just so you can transport that money out of my community. See, you don't understand. We talk about black people being poor and black people having less wealth than whites, and that is true. But I can tell you as a financial expert, there is a reason for the wealth disparity. Part of the reason for the wealth disparity is that whenever you get a chance to get your hands on a couple of nickels, they grabbing them nickels. Whenever you get a couple dollars in your pocket, they grabbing them dollars. You get you an athlete, you get you a Zion Williamson, who is literally a $1 billion asset. A Zion Williamson who plays for Duke, he is a $1 billion asset. First thing that happens is he gets handed over to the NCAA so all these white men can make, $100 million off of him. Then he gets handed over to the NBA and he's got white lawyers and white and Jewish attorneys and Jewish sports agents, and all these people are literally eating a piece of him, a piece off of him. So, maybe he makes, him and his family get, 20, 30, 40% of the deal. But the rest of that money is leaking out of the black community. So if you want to look at smart athletes and smart entertainers, go check out LeBron. LeBron James is actually doing it the right way. LeBron got all his boys, that he's known for years, that he works with. Maverick Carter, his guy, is a guy that's taken over the sports management game, from what I understand, literally representing athletes and taking them away from some of these other agents. He's got other people that he's influencing and helping in a positive way. And he's got some partners in there that are not black. You ain't got to work with only black people all the time. It's good to have partners that are from every background so you can benefit from everybody's skill set. But, when you show me a picture like that, the Russell Wilson Ciara picture, I don't know how they're responding to the controversy, but it's more than just people hating on you. It's really black people saying, why is it that we produce the best athletes in the world, the best entertainers in the world, the best singers, dancers, rappers in the world, and every time, and when they ain't famous, when they ain't making no bread, you dumping them on us. We got them right here in our community. We're the ones who are feeding them. We're the ones who are supporting them. We're the ones who making sure they got a roof over their motherfucking head. We're the ones making sure that they have everything they need to get by. And we the ones who are holding them down. Then the minute that motherfucker start making a couple dollars, he's surrounded by white people. Like surrounded by, Becky and Sally and Sue and Bob and Joseph and all these people that care nothing about the hood, nothing about black people, nothing about our community, nothing about reparations, nothing about being a descendant of slaves, none of that. They care nothing about these things, but yet they're the ones getting the lion's share of your economic value. So, I think Ciara and Russell should be challenged on this. I don't think it's a matter of being mean to them, and I'm sure it's an inconvenience for them. I mean, it's nice to be able to kind of relinquish your Negro problems at the door and go into this other special la-la land. But, I personally think that it behooves them long-term. It benefits them long-term to remember where they came from, because the same people that held it down for you before you got big are the same ones you're going to need to hold you down when you ain't big no more. Because one thing about Creative Arts Agency and all these other William Morris and all that, is they don't give a damn about nothing happening in the black community. They could care less about your black ass. You are an asset to them as long as you are an asset to them. And then when they're done with you, they will spit your black ass out and never ever check on you again. That's why you got a whole graveyard full of washed up black actors and actresses in Hollywood right now who used to be A-listers, who used to be with CAA, who used to be with William Morris back in 1997 or 2004, and now they can't even pay the rent. So that's my 2 cents on it. It's not hating on them or attacking them or anything like that. It's more like saying, yeah, there's a reason why I think people should say something about this. Why is it that black people, why is it that we fill the room when there's despair, but we have to leave the room when there's prosperity? Whenever you name any horrible, fucked up situation in America and you look in the room and it's filled with black people. Go to any prison cell, go to any damn ghetto, go to any damn, pile of dead bodies or whatever, and you're going to see black people everywhere. But then when you go to the places where things are good, where there's happiness, peace, prosperity, wealth, opportunity, suddenly the room gets super white. Well, I don't think that's right, and we know that that's wrong, and we know that that's the way America was built, but we don't have to support that nonsense. So, Russell, Ciara, if you're listening, that's my message to you. Go in there and you talk to those motherfuckers and you say, right now we need you to add 5 black people to our team. We got a team of 20. We need y'all to add at least 5 black folks, and it needs to get done immediately. And if it does not get done immediately, if you can't find anybody, let us know. We can go down to an HBCU and get you 5 qualified black people who should be part of what we're doing right here. So I'm gonna answer some of your questions, and then I'm gonna roll out. I'm in Denver. I gotta go. What's the first class to take in the Black Business School to learn about the stock market? The program is theblackstockmarketprogram.com. THE, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's my stock market class. Also, if you have any questions, just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com. Support@theblackbusinessschool.com. They can answer any of your questions as well. Watching the documentary Broke, talking about former great athletes, says hustle, man. Yeah. It's we got to change that narrative, and the only way that narrative is going to get changed is if we change it. Nobody's going to change it for us. We have to do it ourselves. Hey, I'm late. Nah, you're never late, man. Just start all over from the beginning when I get done. Let's see, I cannot wait until September A, B, and C. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. The All Black National Convention is pretty awesome. If you want to learn more, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. That's our annual gathering. We're going to have it in Philadelphia this year. Nakia Clark, reading Powernomics now. Good. LeBron James is the exception. He is the exception, but he should be the rule. He's going to be the rule, I guarantee you. You make a few good points. Okay, thank you. How can we educate the masses to change the narrative? You just educate who's around you. I can't educate the masses. I just educate, maybe I get 10,000 views on a video. Well, I make those 10,000 views count. If I'm talking to 10,000 people, in my mind, I say, okay, this ain't 40 million, but that's 10,000. And I believe that I can make arguments persuasive enough to get people to change the trajectory of their family for the next 4 generations. Literally, just if I can, for example, if I convince you to buy into my $5 a day stock market investing plan, not where you're sending that money to me, I'm talking about money you invest in yourself. If I convince you to invest an average of $5 a day, which is $150 a month, into the stock market, and you do that consistently, then your children and your grandchildren will have hundreds of thousands of extra dollars in wealth over time. Like, I'm not kidding. This is not hocus pocus. This is not a feel good, like let's give this a try kind of thing. This is proven by scientific research. I'm a financial scientist. That's what I do. I've written original research papers on financial topics. And when you write original research papers, that's very different from studying something and taking a class. As a professor, you can't just take a class and read a book. You actually have to write the books. Every idea that comes from your head can't be regurgitated. It has to actually be an original idea. So that's requires you to have an extensive amount of understanding of these topics, and that's why I love to talk about it. And that's why I'm good at it. And that's why I'm really completely comfortable whenever anybody disagrees with me. That doesn't bother me at all because I know my stuff. So anyway, I gotta go, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button. And if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Peace.